Hello student, in previous lecture we have proved some important theorem of limit on sequence, that is if the limit of sequence exists then it is unique and so on. Now today we are going to start one more method to check whether given sequence is convergent or divergent, that is squeeze theorem. Squeeze theorem. Suppose if x is equal to xn, capital Y is equal to yn, and z is equal to zn, be a sequence of real number with xn less than or equal to yn less than or equal to zn for every n belongs to n, and limit n tends to infinity, xn is equal to limit n tends to infinity zn, then limit n tends to infinity yn is equal to L, then limit n tends to infinity yn is also on L. So we want to prove this theorem. What this squeeze theorem says, this sequence yn lie between every term of sequence yn is lie between xn and zn, that is if x1 less than or equal to y1 less than or equal to z1, x2 less than or equal to y2 less than or equal to z2, x3 less than or equal to y3 less than or equal to z3, and if xn and zn are a convergent sequence, if limit L exists and it is a finite, then we want to show that the limit of sequence yn is also exists. Now what is given? So prove. Given limit n tends to infinity, instead of small l I am writing the capital L. Okay, suppose limit n tends to infinity, xn is equal to L, and limit n tends to infinity, zn is equal to L. So it is given limit n tends to infinity, xn is equal to L, and limit n tends to infinity, yn is equal to zn is equal to L. And we know that if the limit of sequences exists, means what? For any given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number k such that xn minus L is less than epsilon for every, if we choose our n which is greater than or equal to that k. So these two sequences are converges to L, means what? For any epsilon greater than 0, there exists a k1, k1 such that there exists natural number k1 belongs to set of natural numbers such that xn minus L is less than epsilon for every n is greater than or equal to k1, and similarly there exists a k2 belongs to n, there exists natural number k2 for same epsilon, zn minus L is less than epsilon for every n is greater than or equal to k2, and if we choose k is equal to maximum of k1 k2, then both the conditions are true, that is xn minus L is also less than epsilon, zn minus L is also less than or equal to epsilon. But since we know that where epsilon is what? Epsilon is a greater than 0, and we learn one property in a real number chapter, that if mod of x is less than a and a is greater than 0, then this x lie between minus a less than x less than a. So by using this property we can write this xn minus L is lie between plus epsilon and minus epsilon. Okay, if we add L on both sides, we will get L minus epsilon less than xn less than L plus epsilon. Similarly, this Zn minus L is also lie between minus epsilon and plus epsilon. So minus epsilon less than Zn minus L is less than epsilon. This implies L minus epsilon is less than Zn less than or equal to L plus epsilon. So this is equation number 1. This is equation number 2. Okay, but since what is given, xn less than or equal to yn less than or equal to zn. So what this implies? This implies, okay, this implies, but xn is what? L minus epsilon is less than xn. So L minus epsilon is less than xn, which is less than yn, which is less than zn, but zn is less than L plus epsilon. Okay, so L minus epsilon is less than xn and L plus epsilon is greater than zn. So what this implies? Yn lies between L minus epsilon and L plus epsilon for every n greater than or equal to what? K. If we choose K is what? Maximum of K1 and K2. Then L minus epsilon is less than yn less than L plus epsilon. What this implies? This implies minus epsilon is less than yn minus L less than epsilon, and this implies mod of yn minus L is less than epsilon. We know that if minus a less than x less than a, where a is greater than 0, then we can write it as mod of x less than a. By using this property, we can write mod of yn minus L is less than epsilon for every n is greater than or equal to k. But this is the definition of limit. What this implies? Limit n tends to infinity, yn is equal to L. And this is what we want to show here. If xn is less than or equal to yn is less than or equal to zn for every n, then and if xn and zn is converges to L, then this sequence yn is also converges to L. For example, show that sequence sin n upon n. First example, show that sequence sin n divided by n converges to 0. When we say a sequence is convergent, keep it as a limit, finite limit, then we can say that the sequence is convergent. Otherwise, it is called a divergent sequence. So, we want to show that this sequence is converges to 0. Now, you have two options. Either you can apply epsilon k definition here, or otherwise you can apply squeeze theorem. Okay. So, all of you know that mod of sin theta is less than 1. Actually, sin theta is lie between plus 1 and minus 1. That is minus 1 less than or equal to sin n is less than or equal to 1. If we divide this term by n, then we get minus 1 upon n less than or equal to sin n upon n less than or equal to 1 upon n. But what this implies? This implies, okay, this sin n upon n lie between these two sequences, but limit n tends to infinity, 1 upon n is 0, and limit n tends to infinity minus 1 upon n is 0. So both these sequences, this sequence is converges to 0, this sequence is converges to 0. Therefore, by using squeeze theorem, limit n tends to infinity, sin n upon n is equal to 0. Okay, that is this sequence is converges to what? 0. Take one more example. Show that the sequence, So that the sequence 1 upon n plus 1 bracket square plus 1 upon n plus 2 bracket square plus dot 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 plus 1 upon n plus n bracket square is converges to 0. Converges to 0. Okay, want to show that this sequence is converges to 0. Again, all of you know that can we apply squeeze theorem here? Can we write this sequence every term n in between of two sequences? आपण असं लिहू शकतो का की ही सिक्वेन्स दोन सिक्वेन्सच्या बिटवीन मध्ये आहे, इन बिटवीन. ओके, सो ऑल ऑफ यू नो that what is the relation between n is what is n plus 1 and n? All of you know that n plus 1 is greater than n. So 1 upon n plus 1 is less than 1 upon n. Similarly, what is n plus 2 is greater than n. So 1 upon n plus 2 is less than 1 upon n. Similarly, 1 upon n plus n is less than 1 upon n. So each term of this sequence square. Okay. Similarly, this square is also less than n square. This is also less than n square. Okay. So this square is less than n square. Square is less than n square. So all of you know that each term of this sequence is less than or equal to 1 upon n square. So we can write this 1 upon n plus 1 bracket square plus 1 upon n plus 2 bracket square plus dot 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 1 upon n plus n bracket square is less than or equal to 1 upon n square plus 1 upon n square plus dot 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 1 upon n square. How many terms? N terms are there. So each of these terms is n terms, 1, 2 and n terms. So there are n terms. So all these n terms are less than or equal to, each term is less than 1 upon n square, 1 upon n square, 1 upon n square. These are total how many terms? These are total n terms. Similarly, all of you know that n plus n is greater than n plus 1. N plus n is greater than 1. As n is greater than 1, therefore n plus n is greater than or equal to 1. So 1 upon n plus n is less than or equal to 1 upon n plus 1. Similarly, 1 upon n plus 2, n plus n is greater than 1 upon n plus 2. So 1 upon n plus n is less than 1 upon n plus 2. So each of these term is greater than 1 upon n plus n. That is we can write 1 upon n plus n bracket square plus 1 upon n plus n bracket square plus dot 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 1 upon n plus n bracket square is less than or equal to, these terms are less than or equal to 1 upon n plus 1 bracket square plus 1 upon n plus 2 bracket square plus dot 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 1 upon n plus 1 bracket square. And therefore by using this equation number 1 and this equation number 2 we can write that is, this is what, again these are the total n terms. So denominator is same, so if we add numerator it will be n divided by, this is what, twice n square. Denominator is what, twice n square, less than or equal to 1 upon n plus 1 bracket square plus 1 upon n plus 2 bracket square plus dot 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 1 upon n plus n bracket square less than or equal to, again these all terms are less than or equal to, again denominator is same, on the numerator there are 1 plus 1 n times. So what is the addition of this n times 1? It is n. So n divided by n square. So if you simplify this total term is lie between, if you simplify this n divided by 4n square, less than or equal to this total term less than or equal to 1 upon n. Again, if we cancel 1 n, it is 1 upon 4n less than or equal to 1 upon n plus 1 bracket square plus dot 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 1 upon n plus n bracket square less than or equal to 1 upon n. So this sequence lie between 1 upon 4n and 1 upon n for every natural number n. But what is the limit n tends to infinity? 1 upon 4n. Limit n tends to infinity 1 upon 4n is equal to 0, and limit n tends to infinity 1 upon n is 0. So this sequence is converges to 0. This sequence is converges to 0, and therefore by squeeze theorem, limit n tends to infinity, or you can say that this sequence is converges to 0. You can directly say that sequence 1 upon n plus 1 bracket square plus 1 upon n plus 2 bracket square plus dot 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 1 upon n plus n bracket square converges to 0. This sequence is converges to 0 by using squeeze theorem. Take one more example. Show that sequence 1 upon under root of n square plus 1 plus 1 upon under root of n square plus 2 plus dot 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 1 upon under root of n square plus n converges to 1. We want to show that this sequence is converges to 1. Okay, what is this sequence? This sequence is nothing but sk is equal to 1 divided by, that is, if we write this each term, then what is sk here? sk is equal to k divided by under root of 1 divided by under root of n square plus k, or k is equal to 1 to dot dot n, 1 to dot dot n. Okay, and sorry, it is equal to sk is equal to n. sk is equal to n divided by under root of n square plus k, for k is equal to 1 to dot dot n, and we know that this sk is less than or equal to, sk, each term of this sequence is less than or equal to n divided by n square plus we want to prove that this sequence is converges to 1. So again, by using a previous example, all of we know that this n square plus 1 is greater than n square plus 1 upon n. That is, each term, that is for n equal to 1, then n square plus 1 is greater than under root n square plus 1 upon n. So we know that 1 is greater than 1 upon n, or greater than or equal to. We can write greater than or equal to, and therefore under root of n square plus 1 is greater than or equal to under root of n square plus 1 upon n. square plus 1 upon n. What this implies? 1 upon under root of n square plus 1 is less than or equal to under root of 1 divided by under root of n square plus 1 upon n for single term. Then similarly 1 upon, we know that n square plus 2 is greater than n square plus 1 upon n. So this 1 upon n square square root of n square plus 2 is greater than square root of n square plus 1 upon n. So 1 upon under root of n square plus 2 less than or equal to 1 upon under root of n square plus 1 upon n. Similarly, each of these term is less than or equal to under root of n square plus 1 upon n. So, but how many terms are there? There are total n terms. So, all these terms, if I am writing this as a say xn or yn, all these terms yn are less than or equal to n times under root of n square plus 1 upon n. Similarly, we know that n square plus 1, n square plus n is greater than n square plus 1. N square plus 1 is greater than n square plus n is greater than n square plus 1. So 1 upon n square plus n is less than or equal to 1 upon n square plus 1 square root of, if you take the square root. So all these terms, similarly 1 upon n square plus n is less than or equal to 1 upon under root of n square plus 2. So each of these terms is greater than 1 upon square root of n square plus n. This term is greater than square root of 1 upon n square plus n. This term is greater than or equal to 1 upon n square plus n. But how many these terms? These are n terms. So all these terms are greater than or equal to n divided by square root of n square plus n. Okay. Now if we take the limit n tends to infinity of n divided by square root of n plus n, then divide n to numerator and denominator separately. So to divide n numerator and denominator separately, we will get 1 divided by square root. Divide by n means what? Inside the square root it is n square. So it is what? 1 upon n square divided by n square and n divided by n square. So it is equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 divided by square root of 1 plus 1 upon n, and if we take limit n tends to infinity, what is 1 upon limit n? This can be written as 1 divided by square root of 1 plus limit n tends to infinity 1 upon n, and which is 0. So 1 divided by under root of 1 means what? This total limit is equal to 1. Similarly, if we take the limit n tends to infinity, n divided by square root of n square plus 1 upon n, square root of n square plus 1 upon n, again divide by n, numerator and denominator separately. So we get here limit n tends to infinity n divided by n divided by, since we want to take this term inside the bracket, it is equal to n square divided by n plus 1 divided by n square. Again there is 1 n. So if you simplify this, it is equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 divided by under root of 1 plus 1 upon n cube. But what is limit n tends to infinity 1 upon n cube? It is equal to 0. So this value of this term is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1 and 1 divided by 1 is 1. So both these sequences, this sequence is converges to 1 and this sequence is converges to 1, and therefore by squeeze theorem, this sequence is converges to what? 1. So we are going to stop here for today.